Let's be honest for a second. When you think about the Kansas City Chiefs quarterback room, there's really just one name that comes to mind: Patrick Mahomes, the two-time league MVP, the guy who turns broken plays into highlight reels, the face of the franchise and, honestly, the league. But here's the twist. This offseason, the backup QB spot has actually become a talking point. Yeah, you heard that right. And for once, it's not just an afterthought. So what's going on behind Mahomes that's worth paying attention to? Well, it starts with two names: Chris Oladokun and Gardner Minshew. Now, Minshew you probably know. The mustached gunslinger who's been floating around the league, stepping in for starters and always managing to make things interesting. He's experienced, he's confident, and he knows how to run an offense when needed. The Chiefs brought him in this offseason to provide veteran insurance. No drama, just reliability. But then there's Chris Oladokun, a guy most fans wouldn't have expected to hear about, yet he's already drawing some unexpected attention at off-season practices. Reporters are noticing, coaches are commenting, and it's getting fans wondering, could he actually challenge for the QB2 spot? Normally, backup talk is kind of meh. You hope they never play. But with Mahomes dealing with injuries late in recent seasons and a brutal schedule ahead, having the right guy behind him could really matter this year. So before you scroll past the QB room this summer, maybe take a second look. The storyline here might end up being more than just in case of emergency. And real quick, if you live and breathe Chiefs football, hit that subscribe button right now. We're pushing hard for 4,000 subscribers, and every click helps us keep bringing you daily Chiefs breakdowns. Let me know in the comments. What's your take on Minshew as Mahomes' backup? Solid move, or just a safety net? Chapter 2. Inside the QB Room. Oladokun's Unexpected Stardom. Now let's dig a little deeper into this guy that's quietly stealing the spotlight. Chris Oladokun. Last year, Oladokun was basically invisible to the average fan. Practice squad guy, no headlines, no hype, just another name on the roster sheet. But those who've been watching closely know this guy's been grinding. And now, people are noticing. He finally got a taste of real NFL action in Week 18 last season. Yeah, it was limited, but it was a moment. And now, here in the offseason, his reps in practice have started to turn heads. There's a bit of a buzz building around him. Not just for his physical tools, he's got mobility, he's got a live arm, but for how he's carrying himself around the team. And get this, he's not just there filling space behind Mahomes and Minshew. He's competing. Andy Reid's not just handing out compliments for nothing. When Reid says a young QB is making progress, that's coach speak for, we're watching this kid closely. It's the classic underdog story. 6th round pick. Bounced. Around. Not expected to crack the lineup, let alone become a legit backup contender. But here we are, and Oladokun is forcing the conversation. Now let's be fair, Minshew still holds the edge in experience. He's played in real games, started in playoff pushes, and knows how to manage tough situations. But when it comes to raw upside and internal development, Oladokun might have the higher ceiling. So what does this mean for the Chiefs? It means training camp could get very interesting. Reps will be limited. Mistakes will be magnified. And the backup job might not be locked in like everyone assumes. Let me throw it to you. If Mahomes had to sit for a game, just hypothetically, who would you want to see step in? The steady vet Minshew, or the high-upside homegrown guy like Oladokun? Drop your answer in the comments, just a simple Minshew or Oladokun. Let's see where Chiefs Kingdom stands. And hey, if you're liking this deep dive into the QB room, hit that like button to show some love. It helps more than you think, and gets our videos to more Chiefs fans like you. All right, now let's shift gears and talk about the new face in the QB room that's bringing a whole different kind of energy, Gardner Minshew. If you're not familiar with Minshew already, he's a bit of a cult hero in NFL circles. From his days with the Jaguars to his recent run with the Colts, Minshew has always had this wild, laid-back vibe, kind of like that cool uncle who shows up at Thanksgiving in cowboy boots and Knows every trick play from his high school glory days. But don't let the mullet and the charm fool you. Gardner Minshew can play. He started over 30 games in the NFL. He's thrown for nearly 50 touchdowns. And most importantly, he's proven he can step in on short notice and keep things rolling without panic. That's exactly why the Chiefs signed him. They didn't bring him in to compete with Mahomes. Let's be real, nobody is competing with 15. But they did bring him in to be a calm, competent Plan B. Someone who can handle a Week 17 start if Mahomes needs rest, or even jump in mid-game and steady the ship. And honestly, that's the kind of presence that can make a big difference behind the scenes. Having a veteran like Minshew in the room helps younger guys like Oladokun grow, and gives the coaching staff peace of mind knowing the playbook doesn't fall apart if Mahomes ever tweaks something mid-season. But here's the part that might surprise you. There's still a sense of urgency for Minshew. He knows this is more than just a vacation in Kansas City. If he plays well in preseason or gets a real shot during the season, this could be a stepping stone to another starting opportunity down the line. So don't think of Minshew as just the clipboard holder. He's watching, he's preparing, and if the moment comes, he'll be ready. And hey, if you want us to do a full film breakdown on Minshew's best games and how he'd fit in Andy Reid's system, drop a comment and let me know. We'll put it together if enough of you want it. Also, don't forget, subscribe right now if you haven't already. We're closing in on that 5,000 subscriber goal, and you can help us get there today. Now let's take a step back and talk about why any of this quarterback chatter even matters to you, as a Chiefs fan. I get it. Backup QBs don't usually move the needle. Most seasons, we barely hear their names. But this year feels different, doesn't it? There's something about having both a proven vet in Gardner Minshew and a rising name like Oladokun that actually makes this competition worth paying attention to. Why? Because it's not just about having a safety net. It's about having the right one. Let's not forget, Mahomes has battled through ankle tweaks, hand issues, even a torn ligament in his knee back in 2019. The man is a warrior, but at some point, having reliable depth could be the difference between coasting into the playoffs or scrambling for a win in December. And if you're dreaming about another Super Bowl, which, let's be honest, we all are, you know how thin the margins can get. One bad hit, one awkward fall, and suddenly the entire season could be riding on the guy holding the clipboard. This is where the Oladokun versus Minshew conversation really hits home. Do you want someone who's been in the fire before, even if his upside is limited? Or do you gamble on a young guy who's flashed potential but hasn't faced a true NFL defense under pressure? That's a real question. And it could define how this team survives the toughest stretch of the season. So here's what I want to know from you. Are you the kind of fan who values security with someone like Minshew? Or are you more into development and want to see Oladokun take that next step? Drop your answer in the comments, security or development. Let's see where Chiefs Kingdom stands. And if you're still with me, you're clearly a real one. So hit that subscribe button, join the Total Chiefs News family, and help us cross that 5,000 subscriber milestone. All right, now that we've unpacked the QB depth and all the drama behind the scenes, let's talk about what's next and what you should be watching for as training camp approaches. First off, this QB competition isn't just about who throws the prettiest ball in practice. It's about consistency, command of the offense, and trust from the coaching staff. Minshew will likely get the early nod with the second team, but don't be surprised if Oladokun starts, getting more meaningful reps as the weeks go by. These reps might look like nothing to the casual eye, but they're everything to the coaches. Footwork, timing, communication in the huddle, it all counts. And when Mahomes sits out preseason snaps, which he always does, this becomes a true testing ground. So what should you be watching for? Watch who gets the second team reps early in camp. Watch how each QB handles 2-minute drills or red zone reps. And keep your ear to the ground for reports from beat writers. If Oladokun starts trending upward, that's real. But also, don't lose sight of the bigger picture. This QB room is just one piece of a much deeper, more talented Chiefs roster that's looking to three-peat. You've got a revamped offensive line, explosive young wideouts, and a defense that's still nasty. It all ties together. And this is where you come in, staying locked in. Every detail, every snap in camp helps paint the picture of what's coming in 2025. We'll be right here, breaking it all down with you, every step of the way. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button right now. Let's cross that 5,000 subscriber goal and keep growing Chiefs Kingdom one real fan at a time. And before we wrap, what storyline do you want us to cover next? Wide receiver depth? Rookie battles? Defensive standouts? Let me know in the comments, and we'll make it happen.